Hey guys, so I saw a video just recently, and it's this YouTuber called Brett Cooper, and she was actually reacting to a video about this TikToker, and she had come to the realization why apparently guys weren't wiping her up, basically. So meaning they were not asking her, or they were not wanting to get married to her. And so she was more masculine. Like, okay, she had a little bit of muscle, and then she did have some tattoos. She said she had, I think it showed that she had a septum piercing, and I felt like, as somebody who is more like, as a girl who's actually more on the tomboy side, I felt like I wanted to give my response as to why, like, despite what everybody says, despite what biology says, despite what nature says, I have my reasons for why I have basically leaned into being more of a tomboy, regardless of what society says, what nature says. And I just felt like I don't usually hear a lot of tom girls giving their reasons as to why they are the way they are. And of course, the first thing I want to talk about that seems like everybody keeps giving the reason why they are tomboy is because of feminism. Now, I don't agree with the most recent feminism, which is basically that they want to degrade men and they want to be over men. I agree more with the feminism that was, like, I guess at the very beginning of when this whole thing started, which is that I agree with being equal. Like, so I agree with the woman getting the same pay as the man, unless it's like for special jobs, and of course if something's more specialized, and of course then that job deserves to get paid more. As for, like, okay, being the dominant one, like being over men, like, I think that's going to extremes, because, like, I mean, it's already enough, in my opinion, to just have, the same grade as men. Like, you don't need to go over that. Like, if you want to be equal, then why go above? That's not being equal. At that point, you're just basically trying to be more masculine than men. You're basically trying to be over the man, and it doesn't make sense. Like, I agree with the whole yin-yang biology. Like, it doesn't make sense with that part. Now, thinking back on my life, I could think of lots of moments why I did not want to lean into my femininity. And the thing is I've been through so much stuff. Can't say the S word even though I want to. I've been through so much stuff. And I'll put the word that I want to say instead right there. But I've been through a lot of stuff, and if I wouldn't have leaned into my masculinity, I would never have found the strength, honestly, to, like, move forward with my life, period. I've been bullied. Now, I know what people are going to say in the comments. Yes, I've been bullied too before, big whoop, but, like, this was, like, more than just a little bit bullied. Like, this was to the point where I basically had the whole school against me in elementary. And I know if anybody happens to be watching this and they're from my elementary, do I still hate you? Probably, but either way. The point is, I literally was just one kid against, like, 320 something other kids. And this was just in elementary. And like, literally, I was exiled every day, all because, and this is the annoying / very frustrating part, is because the way that apparently the kids in my elementary school operated is they, for some reason, acted as if they were in high school. Now, what I mean by that is they had the groups, they had the jocks, they had the, like, I guess the popular girls, they had just little groups within every one. And of course, since I wasn't the typical girly girl, which, again, here's my gripe with that is, so when you're a child, in my opinion, the only thing you should be thinking about when you're a child is to be a child. Who cares what you're wearing? Who cares if you're all dressed up, like whether you're a boy or a girl? Like, all you should really be thinking about as a child is just having fun, playing with friends, like not thinking about more grown-up stupid stuff. But here were these freaking kids acting as if they're in high school when they're not even 10 years old yet. So that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, and like the popular girls, air quotes, the popular girls, this is an elementary crazy, they acted girly girls, and they pretty much just remind me of like the girls from like from that movie Easy A. Like, they remind me of Regina George, like all those girls. Like, they tried to date, and again, this is kids under 10, so having kids trying to date kids under 10 and actually act like this as if they're in a relationship is weird. So that's why I didn't even want to be drawn into the femininity. I didn't want to lean into it because I already saw girls under 10 in my elementary freaking acting like they're 12, no, not 12, acting like they're basically older teen years, like 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, young 20s. Like, they were acting as if they were already basically knew what sex was and everything. They were just trying to be adults when they barely just got out of the womb, in my opinion, and just barely learned how to talk and walk. And I will never forget this. Just a little bit of the story time coming in. So whenever we were at the playground one time, there was this one popular boy in the group in our elementary, and the boy was in the jungle gym, whatever, was one of the popular girls, and they sat down next to each other, and then all the kids around, they started chanting, kiss, 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 kiss. Now, remind you, this is 7-year-olds and 8-year-olds, and they're all doing this. And I just found that creepy, and I just found that weird, and so annoying. And then, at one point, months after this happened, one of those girls came up to me and said, "Oh, why don't you join us?" But there was a catch to it, and basically that I had to dress like them. And what that meant is I had to put on a frilly shirt, and I had to put on a frilly skirt. A skirt and a shirt. And again, this is 6-year-olds. Like, who cares what you're wearing when you're 6? You just want to play. It doesn't matter, in my opinion. So, and then she said, "You have to do this to one of the guys over there." So what she did, she walked past the guys that were on the other side of the classroom, but she did the whole trying to look sexy, basically. And this is 6-year-olds trying to look sexy. They don't need to look sexy. You're freaking 6. You don't even have anything growing yet. Like, why at that age would you want to? Like, where do they get these ideas? Like, I don't know where they got these ideas. They're not even in middle school, so that would make more sense to be acting like that if they were in middle school, but we're not. We're in elementary, and you're trying to be as if you're in middle school, so that completely turned me off from freaking even leaning into my femininity when I was young. And after that, I still had more drama to deal with. My home life wasn't like completely the best growing up, and like to lean into my femininity, I mean, I just felt like that just made me weak. And I know after growing up that it doesn't make you weak leaning into your femininity, but it's just every single role model that I saw growing up that leaned into their femininity, I saw them as being vulnerable, being able to take advantage of from other people, especially guys. And especially when it comes to dating, I remember I did date for a little while, and after, like, my family life was changed a little bit at some point, like, I didn't have a direction of what I wanted to do, and, like, it's so funny because, like, the jobs I'm doing now, it's, like, not even what a feminine girl would probably, a woman would be thinking of. But that's the thing, it's given me more opportunities than I have ever gotten in my life. More than I probably would have ever gotten if I had, like, just stayed a quiet, frail, girl. Like, that's what my personality used to be, and because of everything I went through, having to deal with family drama, having to deal with annoying kids that freaking annoyed me and made fun of me every single day, and there was, like, all the kids against me. It wasn't just one, it was a whole grade against me. Having to deal with that just made me want to try to find a role model that was more strong. And, you know, on TV you see the girls that are, like, they dress feminine, but they're not, like, all, they don't have all these bright colors, they don't, they're not soft-spoken, they're not quiet. And, like, if I still kept that same personality and kept it today, I'd be doing something different, but I'd probably be getting paid less, and I wouldn't be able to start my life in the way that I could possibly start now. So, at least for me, what came down to it for me really was just everything that I went through, and that's the only way I knew how to cope. Was leaning more into being more masculine because I felt like I had no other way to have support. I had to basically support myself in that way. I had to learn how to kind of do self-therapy and everything. I didn't really talk to many people about everything. I don't even talk to my parents really about everything, so I mean, I had to do something. And doing that was basically one thing. Now, I mean, I know this limits my dating pool, and, like, I don't have any tattoos, but, like, I do plan to get at least one. And, like, even after seeing the TikTok, and even after hearing from what Brett Cooper has to say, like, I like how she said that you don't have to completely change your personality. Because I feel like that's what a lot of guys would say, is they would say, oh, so you should just basically go straight to just wearing dresses all the time, wear pink all the time, don't ever think about anything other than shopping, just think to cook and clean. Like, I can't do that. Like, I did almost that for, like, a good long while, and the only thing that ever came from it was, like, I had credit card debt, I had bills that are piling up, that are starting to, like, just not get paid. Like, I didn't know how to basically budget my money. I didn't know how to, like, spend. I didn't know how to, like, set boundaries for money and all that. I really didn't look into finances, and I didn't start looking into finances until after I realized nobody's gonna come and save me, and that's more of the mentality of being more masculine instead of being more feminine. Because especially in today's dating, like, you have all these different apps. You have Tinder, you have Grindr, you have, pretty sure there's some other hookup apps that you probably know, but I can't think of them. They probably came out with more. But, like, there's all these other options for guys, and, like, I know this is gonna sound terrible, but part of me is always on the lookout for just myself. Like, even if tomorrow I meet the love of my life, and even if I did by some chance get married to that person, I still would have a contingency plan in place. And I would only be thinking like this because I have leaned into my masculinity more. And if I would have stayed in that little frail state of the woman I used to be, I would think, oh no, they're gonna be with me forever. But, like, you don't know if they're gonna be with you forever. So I'd rather be safe than sorry. And I've learned also from my past that I don't think there's anything wrong with speaking up for what you want, especially in relationships. And I think that's where that whole girly girl, quiet personality, I think that's what kind of turned me off. Is when I think of that, I think of a woman who doesn't speak their mind, a woman who just basically has the man tell her what to do all the time. And I don't want to be like that. I don't want the man to be telling me what to do all the time. Like, I want to have my own autonomy, but I don't know, and right now I don't really care if apparently that's too much for men. If men think, oh, that just because she wants her own autonomy doesn't mean that she's wifey material. Well, I'm sorry, but I just don't want to be the silent, not speaking wife, which I don't know if that's like more with the traditional wife. I don't know. So, and I have no problem hearing from the guys. Any guys who see this and want to like put their 2 cents, just put it down in the comments below. And if I think of anything more that I want to speak on this topic, I will make another video. And I hope you guys have a good day.